This video brought to you by our friends at TwinSpires.com and TwinSpires Tournaments. The Kentucky Derby Betting Challenge, a new horse racing contest major, is happening on Derby Day. You can buy your way in. You can win your way in. Go to TwinSpires.com and click on the Tournaments tab for more information. PTF and Mikey P back with you on this Kentucky Derby Monster Pod 2025. Next up, a horse currently on the outside looking in, but he may get in. We've seen this movie before. I speak of Render Judgment. What do you think of this horse's chances, Mikey?
Well, on the win end, I do think that he could be up against it. He's not really a win type. He just has a maiden win to the credit, albeit at Churchill Downs, going a route of ground. He's danced some dances. He tried the Kentucky Jockey Club at 2. He was in a Gun Runner early, the Risen Star, Virginia Derby, Bluegrass. He's getting checks in those races. So he belongs with these horses, but he's more an underneath type.
I hear where you're going with that. I see two positives I'll touch on. One might be the pedigree. You've got Blame, obviously, very stout distance horse, famously running down Zenyatta under these same TwinSpires. Commissioner, a horse that ran a huge race in the 1.5 mile Belmont Stakes. And just looking at his races, seems like one, it would not surprise me if distance was his friend. And then the other element that is worth highlighting is the trainer, Kenny Mikee, going for his second win in a row in this race. How much do you factor either of those things into your assessment of Render Judgment's chances?
Well, a lot of these horses are going to be tested going 1.25 miles, and he certainly has the pedigree to do so. And a lot of times you don't know until they get that extra distance how they're going to perform. So certainly I do think that that is a favorable thing for this horse. And you can't argue with the connections there. Mikee has had a phenomenal past year and a half, but he's had a phenomenal career. So the fact that he thinks that this horse belongs in this race, he's earned it. If he does happen to draw in off the list, I do think that has merit. I don't think that they would waste this horse in the Derby if they didn't think they had some chance of hitting the board.
Curious to know what you think will be the running style in this race. Do you think he'll be held up to maybe get that run into 3rd, 4th, and 5th? Or do you think if they go, they're going to be in the thick of things? I worry if they're too aggressive, I could see him finishing towards the back of the pack. But I do think the scenario you outlined of him being alive for underneath could exist if he gets a very cold run. What do you think is going to happen?
It is tricky because this pace could end up supersonic. It looked a couple weeks ago like there was no pace in this Derby, and now all of a sudden it seems like there is a ton of pace in this Derby, especially with horses like East Avenue, with Citizen Bull, with Rodriguez, who the jockey said that, he is definitely going in the race. This horse likes to be up close. If you look at that Virginia Derby, he sat very close to a quick pace. He tried to be closer in the Bluegrass. He's just not fast enough to keep up with the quick ones early. So he more is probably going to have to grind it out, get a mid-pack kind of trip, and hope that that the distance suits him more than the others.
Great stuff, Mikey. Appreciate you coming in here to talk Render Judgment. We'll be talking soon.